Hello and welcome to Altcoin XP. My name's Anthony, and today let's look at the Bitcoin version 0.13 core wallet release. So if you go to bitcoin.org/en/release/v.0.1.3.0, you can see all the release notes. I'll leave this link in the description. So the first change that I want to talk about is child pays for parent. It's right here, and what this does, it allows the receiver of a transaction to create a new transaction using a higher fee or a proper fee, using the unconfirmed bitcoins that he received, in turn joining the original low-fee transaction to the new transaction to speed up its confirmation. It also allows the sender to do the same thing by using a change address of his that was involved in the original transaction. This idea has been around since the middle of 2012. I found this related to it on GitHub, a post from Luke Jr., and he mentions that it was part of a pull request 1240 that Gavin Andreessen left out in pull request 1590. I don't know who coded child pays for parent or whose idea it was, but there's that. So then the next one I want to talk about is compact block support, and this comes from, let's find it here. This is a pretty short description for a kind of complex change, but this comes from BIP 152, and then there's a FAQ on bitcoincore.org about it. So basically, my understanding of it is that it exchanges bandwidth resources for computing resources in two different ways. So the old way right here that nodes would relay blocks is that node A would receive the block and then send the headers and some information over to node B. Then node B would send information in node A saying, hey, give me that block, and then node A will send it to them. So the first new mode is high bandwidth relaying, and this is where node B asks for node A to receive blocks ASAP. Node A does some basic validation of the block and then sends node B the block header, which is the block header, shortened transaction IDs, and predicted missing transactions to node B. Then node B attempts to reconstruct the block and requests any missing transactions from node A. During this time, both nodes complete the full validation of the block at the same time. Then second, we have low bandwidth relaying, and this is where node B tells node A, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes, to only send compact blocks. Then node A fully validates the block, then asks node B if it wants the block. This way node B isn't sent a block it already received from another peer. If node B does want the block, node A sends a compact version of the block, which includes the block header, shortened transaction IDs, and predicted missing transactions. Node B then tries to reconstruct the block and requests any transactions it's missing from node A. When complete, then node B fully validates the block. So it seems to me the difference between high bandwidth mode and low bandwidth mode is when blocks are validated before they're sent. In high bandwidth mode, node A will send block information before data is validated, and both nodes will validate independently. In low bandwidth mode, node A will only send data that is already validated. It seems like a good idea to me because it allows more people to become full nodes. People are less limited by their available bandwidth. Say that they're in a country where they don't have good internet. Now they're only limited by the type of hardware they can get as far as hard drive sizes and whatever computers and CPUs they can get, which is hardware is much more easy to come by than having ISP that gives you decent bandwidth. At least that's what I believe. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I'm kind of wondering how the increased processing costs affects people who use Raspberry Pis and other small computers as Bitcoin full nodes. I'm not sure if this has any effect on it at all, but that's just something that this made me wonder about. I'm also unsure that because this compact block thing comes from Matt Corello he's a developer of Bitcoin Core and also Blockstream, and I'm unsure what this sets up for Blockstream to do. I know there's some controversy around Blockstream, but I'm not too knowledgeable about all that to really make an educated comment about it. So that's that. And back here, the next one that I want to talk about is hierarchical deterministic key generation. So this is comes from v0.13.0, which is right here on GitHub. I'll leave this link in the description as well. So v0.13.2 has been used in a lot of mobile phone wallets, a lot of wallets, online wallets for a few years now. What it does, it allows the wallet to generate its key pairs based off of a deterministic seed, a single deterministic seed. I think Bitcoin already uses a deterministic seed, but it's only for a pool of 100 private keys, and then after that it creates a new seed, and then that new seed has to be backed up so you can protect your private keys and your Bitcoin and everything. It seems now that this change now allows a single seed to create an infinite number of private keys. And an example used here is it's somewhere in here. An example used in the GitHub thing for v0.13.2 is that now a web server can generate a different receiving address for each order or customer without giving the web server access to the corresponding private keys. So this could help out a lot with like hacks on exchanges or retailers or anything if their server gets compromised. Well, I assume that the server would still have the private key if they're, or the seed if they're generating the addresses. So I'm not 100% sure how that works. But let me look here. However, deterministic wallets typically consist of single chain key pairs. The fact that there's only one chain means that sharing a wallet happens on all or nothing basis. However, in some cases, one only wants some public keys to be shared and recoverable. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not sure. I would think that the web server would have to have the seed on it, so I don't know. So moving on, then some other like minor changes that I wanted to mention, just real quick ones, is that Bitcoin Core is ending support for Windows XP, and Microsoft ended support for XP over 2 years ago. So it's pretty like irresponsible to have a store of value and something like Bitcoin on an unsupported and unsecure operating system. So it's good that Bitcoin is no longer supporting Windows XP. I'm assuming that it'll still run on XP, but you really shouldn't do that. Then segregated witness support will be coming to Bitcoin testnet, and that's right here. Pretty much, I'm not going to go into what segregated witness is here, but we're waiting on some stuff to happen in BIP 141 before segregated witness is released on the mainnet. Pretty much just finalizing how it's going to happen and all that stuff. Then there's some reindexing changes, and this is basically separating when you normally reindex your Bitcoin blockchain, it'll validate all the blocks all over again and then also reindex them all at the same time. This is separating those two. So now block validation will be separate from reindexing, and I guess this is useful for if you have a corrupted chain state, you can now just reindex the chain state separately to repair that. So then another one up top here, I think, is the database cache memory has been increased from the default database cache memory has been increased. So the default was 100 megabytes, and I think a megabyte is almost the same as 1 megabyte. So it's been increased from 100 megabytes to 300 megabytes as the default. And this allows, when you first start downloading the Bitcoin blockchain, it allows it to cache more of it to RAM, therefore increasing blockchain sync times. You can change this to any value you want. I think on my computer I used like 4 gigs just because I had the extra RAM at the time. So there's that. And then the other one is that I wanted to mention, the last one I'm going to mention is support for Linux ARM builds of Bitcoin Core wallet. So this just brings Bitcoin Core to more machines, which is always a good thing. So that's it on that. I'll leave a link to this changelog in the description, as well as these other links just showing whatever. And then you can download the new Bitcoin version 0.13 core wallet from bitcoin.org. Just go down to get started with Bitcoin and choose your wallet, and then Bitcoin Core, and click install, and then click here to download it. I already have it downloaded and installed on this virtual machine. So before you install it, you should check to verify the release signatures. I can't open that, but how do I get out of here? Yeah, but you should verify that this file is accurate and to the hash rate, to the hash that was originally posted on this. This makes sure that no one hijacks this website and adds a new version of Bitcoin Core to here that could be malicious. I could show you how to do that in another video if you guys want, but I'm not going to do it here. So yeah, so let's see what's new with Bitcoin Core. I have it installed. I don't have the blockchain synced on here or anything, but that was already pretty fast to start up. So let's see. All this stuff looks the same. Settings, options. Here's where you can change the database cache limit. It's now defaulted at 300 instead of 100. Yeah, if you're first syncing the blockchain, just throw as much RAM at it as you can, as you have free, because that'll help things out considerably. Yeah, the stuff looks the same. Oh, I think it crashed. and the network, all this stuff looks the same. I don't know why I can't click on these. Window, that stuff's the same. Display, yeah, that stuff's the same. So far everything looks the same. All the transaction fee stuff is the same. Yeah. Oh, if you see a Bitcoin address in this wallet of mine, I don't think I showed any, but this is, don't send anything if you see any addresses in here. This is just me testing stuff. Yeah, but everything looks the same, so it's all basically back-end stuff. Yeah, so there's that. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm not really good at making videos or anything. This editing is going to be a nightmare because I don't know how to do any of that. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you disliked it, you can dislike the video too. I have, I'll put up like a image in this video showing my QR code donation addresses for Bitcoin and Ethereum if you want to support me that way. I'll also leave the addresses in the video description if you want to copy and paste them instead of using QR code. Also, I'm starting a Patreon campaign. I'll leave the link for that in the video description. And then an altcoin XP subreddit, which you can get to from reddit.com/r/altcoinxp. Yeah, so if you guys want to chat about anything on there, I'd like to get kind of a community going around all this, because a lot of the communities now are very polarized between like subreddits for Bitcoin. There's like the people there don't really agree with people in the Ethereum subreddit, then Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. I just want to get a community where everyone can talk and hang out and stuff. So that'll be the altcoin XP subreddit. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I look forward to making new videos for you guys and everything. So thank you a lot for watching. Bye.